Last month, we sold over $167,000 worth of custom furniture, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you how we did it. Let's dive in. All right, well, welcome back to the channel. As always, so grateful for your time and your attention. And in today's video, I've got some pretty exciting news, obviously from the headline. Typically, we average around $70,000 per month in sales here at Iron by Iron Woodworks, but last month we had a record-breaking month by far. The most we'd ever sold before last month was around $109,000 in a month. We did $167,000 in sales last month, which was historically one of our worst months. August of 2022 was our worst month of the year, and then a year later, we did over $130,000 more in sales. So wild how that happened. But in this video, I basically want to break down how I feel like we came to do this so that you can implement some of these strategies inside of your own woodworking or your handmade business as well. All right, so in every business, there are 5 essential parts. Number 1, you have marketing, sales, fulfillment, customer service, and logistics. So these are really the 5 elements that keep a business running, keep a business thriving. But in this video, we're going to focus really on just the marketing and sales portion of these 5 elements because we didn't produce $167,000 worth of furniture or deal with $167,000 worth of customer service issues or ship $167,000 worth of furniture. We just marketed and sold $167,000 worth of furniture. So I want to dive into kind of our strategy and what we do on a consistent basis. So on average, for me inside of my woodworking business and for all the clients inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, for every dollar that we spend in advertising, we typically generate around $10 in revenue. So what that means is that on average inside of our business, we spend about $6,000 or $7,000 per month in ads and typically generate around $60,000 to $70,000 per month in sales. I think our average before this month was around that $65,000 to $70,000 mark, okay? Now, I have been continually trying to increase our ad spend because that is kind of a leading indicator of what our sales are going to be, right? Now, I'll be also very transparent. I've ran into a lot of barriers when trying to scale beyond like this $7,000 per month mark inside of Iron by Iron Woodworks, where we start spending more money beyond that and we still only make $60,000 or $70,000 in revenue that month. And so in the past, our margins have been so slim that when we spend that money above and beyond, let's say the $6,000 or $7,000 in marketing, and we don't make any more money as a result of it, it's basically like turning that $2,000 and throwing it into a dumpster and setting it on fire, right? Which for me is super painful. We don't want to do that. But our margins have increasingly gotten better. We've made some strategic moves with increasing our margins across labor and material costs and how we manage the business, which has given us a little bit more room to experiment with marketing money, right? Marketing dollars. And so the month before last, I was like, I'm going to commit to spending $10,000 per month this month in advertising. I'll be honest, I did spend $10,000 per month in advertising and we only did around $55,000 or $60,000 in sales, which of course was super discouraging, right? But here's what I did differently this time, and here's why I think it helped us. Instead of pivoting back to only spending $6,000 to $7,000 per month, the following month, I committed again this last month to spending $10,000 again. Back to back, even with seeing a lower return in the first month, spending more money that second month, what happens is I think that we captured a lot more of the market with our advertising and kept them engaged longer, which ultimately meant that they crossed the finish line from a sales standpoint faster. So we spent $10,000 in ads this last month and we did over $167,000 in sales, which is super, super exciting. So if we look across a 2-month rolling average, a 60-day rolling average, what we find is that we did $167,000 last month. We did around $60,000 a month before that. So we've got over $227,000 in total sales within 2 months. And we spent around $20,000 in ads, which means that we were just above that 10x return on ad spend. By the way, if you are trying to scale and trying to grow your woodworking business with a strategy like this, be sure to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. Links in the description below, where we're helping woodworkers all across North America scale their woodworking operations, moving from their garage into commercial spaces, hiring employees, and scaling their sales and their operations. So when it comes to marketing strategy, I'm going to give you a couple little nuggets that I think will help you when trying to launch a marketing strategy. So I spent $10,000 last month in advertising, marketing. When marketing, I always do a few things. So number 1, I always start with beautiful imagery. And so you you need to have really great photos, really great video of your product. If you don't have really great, exceptional video or photos of your product, you're immediately shooting yourself in the foot. Capturing great photos, great video is really, really important. By the way, we did a video on this not that long ago. We'll link it up here where I talk about the importance of your product photography and videography. Be sure to check that out. But we got to start there. We got to start with beautiful imagery because that's what's going to capture the attention of your audience, right? And so if you are in the handmade space, you know how important it is to have a great aesthetic. It's got to stand out among your competition. And so the second thing that we do is we always run a special sales event. There's always some type of incentive, some type of sales event. So last month in August was our back to school sales event. We had 30% off all of our dining room table sets, right? So dining tables, benches, and chairs. What this does is it helps the prospect see that, oh, this is a special event. There's something special going on. I want to respond to this ad. And then lastly is that we always have urgency around the sale ending at the end of the month. And so historically speaking, when we look across the last 6 or 8 months, we typically do half or more than half of our sales the last week of the month, every single month. And why is that? Because of the urgency that is associated with the sale at the time. That is so vital, so incredibly important from a marketing standpoint. So beautiful imagery, some type of sale, and some type of deadline associated with the sale, okay? That you voice. You have to vocalize the deadline, otherwise it doesn't do you any good. So when it comes to sales, how do we increase our sales this much? How do we make it possible? Well, one of the things that we focused on here at Iron by Iron Woodworks is that the same person that we have that is over sales has also had a lot of the other administrative duties as well. And we've tried to take a lot of that off of her shoulders so that she could just focus on sales. We've been doing that for about 3 months now and haven't really seen the benefit of it. But this month, along with the increased ad spend, doing the strategy that we're doing, along with taking a lot of other responsibilities off of her shoulders so she could simply focus on sales, I think really allowed for a really big booming sales month. To wrap this all up, I'm pretty excited. I never honestly imagined we would do that much in sales in a single month. And so now that it's happened, it's raised the bar, right? And so I just want to remind all of you guys that are watching, maybe that you're trying to stay inspired. I started in my garage, just like you. I mean, I literally started in my garage. I quit my job like an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Quit my job, started the next day in my garage, had no idea what I was doing. And 6 years later, here we are knocking down 6 figures plus in a single month in sales. Would have never dreamed it possible, if I can be honest with you. This was not in my vision 6 years ago, but the vision changes and what you believe is possible changes along the way. So for those of you that are believing for the first $10,000 a month, I'm here to tell you, I promise you can do it. You just need strategy. You probably don't have a hard work problem. You probably just have a strategy problem. So again, if you're trying to get some strategy, if you're trying to get some tools, be sure to check out the resources below. So number one, I got a completely free ebook for you. If you're a handmade business owner, woodworker, trying to grow your business, you can get that book completely for free. Just enter your name, email below. I got a link. There's the first link in the description below. Number two, if you're trying to break that $10,000 per month threshold, you're going to want to check out the Handmade Hero Academy. That's where I include all of the strategies that I use to really solidify what product I needed to sell and then how to scale that beyond $10,000 per month. Now, if you are trying to scale your woodworking business to the 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 mark, then be sure to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program where I work with you one-on-one to help you scale your operations. We run your ads for you, get you that 10-to-1 return on your ad spend, and help you grow and scale your business. So with that being said, appreciate you so much, love you, and I'll see you in the next one.